If you want to draft words 2 to 4 times faster than your hands can physically type, voice dictation software is the obvious answer. But for beginners, that initial burst of speed hits a brick wall the moment they stop talking. You look at your screen and realize you have a massive, unformatted block of text that requires you to manually insert every single comma, period, and paragraph break. Getting a computer to accurately hear the words you say is a solved issue in 2026. The real problem has shifted. The true bottleneck for modern writers is post-dictation editing effort. It is the tedious process of editing a raw transcript to delete the ums and ahs and the fragmented sentences your brain naturally produces when speaking aloud. Choosing the right software today means deciding exactly how much money you are willing to spend to eliminate that cleanup work. Before we evaluate the options, we need to separate dictation from transcription. Dictation is live. You speak, and text appears instantly on your screen to actively write. Transcription is recording audio now to be converted into text later. If you are working from pre-recorded interviews, you want transcription. But for this breakdown, we are focusing exclusively on live dictation workflows for active writing. We will judge the top software options on a simple scale, weighing the actual monetary cost of the tool against the manual editing time required after use. This quadrant chart maps the 2026 landscape. The horizontal axis measures output, from raw transcription to AI clean text. The vertical measures price. Free tools cluster bottom left, costing $0 but heavy editing. Premium tools sit higher, requiring zero editing. There is no single best tool on this board. Finding the right choice means matching a software tier to your exact budget and writing routine. The lowest barrier to entry sits in Tier 1, the free built-in options. This includes Google Docs voice typing, Apple Dictation, and Windows voice typing, which you can activate instantly by hitting the Windows key plus H. The appeal here is straightforward. There is no monetary cost, no subscription to manage, and no external software to install on your machine. You can start talking right now. But the functional limitation is steep. To get usable sentences, you must explicitly dictate all of your punctuation. You have to physically say the words comma, period, or new paragraph out loud as you go. Thinking about punctuation while trying to articulate a complex thought frequently derails a writer's focus. If you forget to call out the commands, you end up with raw, unformatted walls of text. These tools also transcribe your verbal stumbles verbatim. Every filler word is dutifully recorded onto the page, waiting for you to manually backspace over it later. These built-in options are entirely valid for budget-conscious writers or brief notes, as long as you accept that you are paying for the software with your own editing time. On the opposite extreme of the market sits the legacy titan, Dragon Professional version 16. It carries a massive upfront monetary barrier of around $699 for a one-time license, and it is strictly limited to the Windows ecosystem. That price point serves a very specific user. Long-form authors and technical writers choose Dragon because it delivers up to 99% raw accuracy right out of the box. This comparison matrix table shows exactly what you get for that money. Unlike the free tier, Dragon allows you to build a custom vocabulary. You can train the software to recognize specific sci-fi character names, complex medical jargon, or unique legal terms so it never misspells them. Furthermore, Dragon operates entirely offline. Your audio never hits a cloud server, ensuring absolute data privacy for sensitive manuscripts or proprietary documents. You give up the convenience of cloud syncing and cheap access, but you gain absolute, uncompromising control over the raw text. Tier 3 represents the modern AI dictation wave, with VoiceDash currently leading the pack for writers. This requires a $15 recurring monthly subscription and relies on a constant internet connection to function. VoiceDash takes a different approach to speech. Instead of directly transcribing your words, it analyzes your messy speech in real time, stripping out the filler words and fixing your grammatical structures before the text ever hits the page. Looking back at our comparison matrix, adding a third row for VoiceDash shows a clear contrast in the editing outcome column. By cleaning the text on the fly, it requires zero to minimal post-editing. It also works system-wide. Whether you are typing in Notion, Gmail, or Scrivener, the text drops right into your active cursor. You never have to switch windows or copy-paste, making it highly effective for multi-app digital writers and Mac users. You surrender offline privacy and accept a monthly fee, but you successfully eliminate the editing bottleneck that slows most writers down. We also need to address the outliers, because not every writer sits at a desktop computer. If you need to pace around the room or dictate entire chapters on the go, Dragon Anywhere is the premier mobile solution, offering uncapped continuous dictation directly from your phone. Then there is Otter.ai. It is a highly popular tool, but it is explicitly designed for interviews and research. Otter excels at identifying different speakers and making long audio files searchable. But conversational transcripts do not translate cleanly into prose. If you try to use it for active book drafting, you will spend hours rewriting the output. Choosing a niche tool based on a broad marketing claim like AI transcription will actively damage your workflow if the software's core function doesn't match your physical environment. The sheer number of options can stall your progress. Do not purchase any software until you identify the exact type of friction you are trying to eliminate from your writing process. This decision flowchart structures the final choices. It all branches down from a single question. What is your primary friction? If your main friction is upfront cost, stick to the free built-ins. Use Google Box voice typing, Apple Dictation, or Windows voice typing, and accept that you will spend time manually formatting later. If your friction is poor recognition of technical jargon or a strict need for data privacy, follow the path to Dragon Professional and invest in a custom vocabulary. If your friction is the time spent editing raw speech into clean prose across multiple apps, VoiceDash provides the fastest path to a finished draft. And finally, if your friction is managing interview audio rather than active writing, use a dedicated transcription tool like Otter.ai. Ultimately, dictation is a learned habit. Speaking your thoughts clearly takes practice, and no software will magically write a flawless book for you on day one. The modern choice is no longer about finding software that hears your words accurately. It is a decision between retaining raw, offline control of your text or embracing AI efficiency to clean your drafts in real time. Find where you sit on the workflow chart, install the tool that fits your budget, and simply start talking. Because the perfect dictation software is simply the one that becomes invisible, getting out of the way so your story can flow.